Hi, it's Wasabi. Welcome back to the channel. First battle for the new year, so I hope you had a good time last year and best wishes for this new year, 2023. We're on the Westfield map with no Sana, no life, and he's in the Charlemagne. It's a tier 8 British heavy tank in the premium group. I've had a couple of replays of this tank and there is a review on the channel, so you can search for that. So welcome your comments as well. So as with most British tanks, it's got quite reasonable gun depression, so it's going to work the ridges on the map here. And he did take a hit from a Struve at the back, and he's been whacked by a Shrek TVP. Now it needs to get out of the way of that, because that's got a pretty high DPM. So has lost a few hit points, but he's still got plenty to keep going. Alright, there's the Shrek. He's been spotted. Can he get a shot on him and give him a bit of a payback? Oh, it looks like he's behind a hard cover. Does a blind shot towards him as the target disappears, but that was in third-party view. So yeah, in third-party view, you can get auto-lock on targets without having to lay your gun on it. It's one of the tricks of the game. That's not a legal mod or anything like that. It's just part of the game. So it's a skill that's worth acquiring. Anyway, it's got a lever there who's being played by a player called Tiger Tank H. It's a bit confusing when you see the two things together. Is the player called Lever, or is the tank called Lever and he's driving a Tiger Tank H, or it's the name of the player? Anyway, it is a Lever. But yeah, it's got quite a few targets here. So, and look another tank there, a VK being played by a player called Panther D. Just another way of confusing people. But in any case, always check the team lists if you're unsure. And okay, it's got him slightly distracted. Can he put a shot into his cupola? No, he's got a fairly long reload, so yep, manages to put a nice shot in there. Yeah, there's an arty on each side, both GW Tiger Ps, so that'll keep them fairly even. Can he get this BZ 176 at bay? Yeah, manages to get a hit to him and also cause some secondary damage by spotting him. But now he was spotted, so no Sana that is, so he needs to be a bit careful of the arty and understand the timing and the sound where it's coming from. Can he get a shot into the lever? He probably can, yes he does, so nice shot there. And again, just notice how he gets in and out of sniper view really quickly, just to keep his situational awareness. So sniper view to line up the target, and unfortunately that bounced, but he did manage to block the incoming round, so but the Panther D's been left on 124 hit points, so he's able to be polished off, and the lever, I was going to say, is on low damage as well, but he's gone now. Taken out by the Struve at the back, so getting small amount of assisted damage here. But now he's just deciding that this Type 61 needs to be chased off or disposed of, because he's trying to get side shots on the tanks on the hill. And this Type 61 won't last long if he's been targeted, so nice big shot in there. Now they're coming in on both sides, so that was an important move there to push him back. But what can you do with this Panther VK4502B? Sure, we'll be able to get rid of him if he knows he's shot. He just needs to line up his commander's hatch. Again, a fairly small target, but definitely worth trying to penetrate. You can see one shot's already gone in there. Does get taken out, but not by no Sana's shell, and he catches a bit of a whack from the artillery. But it's managed to get rid of one important heavy tank from the enemy side. Now they've got the BZ. Can he respot him without an object 263, and he bounces the incoming round from there. So the armour of the Charlemagne standing up here, and he gets whacked by artillery again. So that was basically a full hit there from artillery, and he needs to get out of the way of this object 263 and potentially get unspotted from artillery as well. So doing a bit of a flanking manoeuvre here. It looks like he's going to catch that BZ potentially. Or Type 61 puts a shot into him. There you go. He has come back, and now there's another problem tank there, the T-77. Luckily the T-30 and No Sonar combine there to get rid of the T-77. So immediate threat goes away. And there he's got a potential shot here. We can go through the front sprocket. And yes, he tracks him. Gets the nice damage. That's always a shot worth taking. If you can get hold of the front sprocket from an outside angle, you'll definitely do damage, and you'll also track them at the same time. So something definitely you want to worth learning how to do. Now he'd like to push in on this Type 61, but he'd like them to back away, which he does, and gets in front of his gun, and bang, he goes down. So No Sonar now working the map here with 41 hit points. He is absolutely going to be a victim of artillery, and that just goes over his head, which is pure luck there. Could have dropped on top of him, which would have taken him out of the game. But he's got a chance to add more damage to his total. Game's in a bit of a balance here in terms of tanks, so they are down a little bit in terms of hit points. Now, where's the BZ gone? Has he dropped back? Probably has from where he currently was. There's the Shrek also pushing up, so glad that he's out of the way of the Shrek. But he might be able to get an angle on him as well as he goes up this slope. And he hasn't proxy spotted the BZ, so good chance that he is backed off. And he might be able to get a shot on the strip that was at the back there as well, so just would rather the strip get spotted before he pokes out, but he's poked a little bit and he hasn't spotted himself, so good chance the strip has pulled back as well, now that they know they've pretty much lost the hill. Now there's the Shrek running away, Renegade's going after him, and manages to get rid of the Shrek, so that was a good move. And No Sonar here using the terrain to his advantage so he can come up over the top with a bit of cover and potentially come behind tanks or get to an angle where they won't expect a shot from. That BZ, you can see just from the minimap side, well, he was occupying the side of the hill, so he was going in a bit of a hold down position and it would have been really hard to dig out. And No Sonar, they're just unloading a shell in the direction of an Astron Rex, who is now much closer, and he might be able to line him up here for the return shot. Yes, he should be able to. Just rushes the shot though there, manages to track him in place, but also luckily not spotted. The Astron Rex would then be able to pretty much fire straight back and dispose of No Sonar. And there he is again, he's in the same spot. We don't know, or there's the artillery, get rid of him first, he's probably a better target. Artillery turns, he knows he's spotted. Puts in a big whack there, leaves him on 33 hit points, and the Rask takes him out. So now the game's still in balance. There's enemy on the cap. And that could be anything, could be the LT-432, could be Struve. So we think the Astron Rex still together, so yeah, it's quite possible it's the LT-432, but single tank. So anyway, time to push in everyone, and everyone's on low health. Anyone who's got any health at all is the Struve on their own team, who's got a bit of overwatch of the base, but clearly can't see who's on the cap itself. So that does indicate that it's the LT. And the strip quite rightly saying help. And you can see the enemy Struve is up in the corner. It's just been spotted. The LT-432 gets taken out by the Struve. And is the Struve in a safe place from the enemy Struve? That's going to be a good question. And the combination of enemy tanks while there's 2 less of them, they've got more hit points than the whole of Nosana's team combined. 5 minutes to go. It's just not completely in the bag. It's not a loss yet, and potentially could be a draw, but let's see where we go. Oh, there we go. Astron Rex has been spotted on the other side of the map. 316 hit points. Brask has a go at him. 2 shots miss. Nosana can line him up. Can he get a shot in? Oh yes, and gets the kill. That was a nice hit there. Good allowance for the travel of the Astron. And now it's just the Struve, who we think pretty much is still in the corner, so worth putting in some blind shots there. And it looks like the Brask is going back to cap, which is a good move as well. Might flush the Struve out, but I don't think the Struve can move really. He'll get spotted if he tries to move away from the corner. Now, if you get in this situation, one good thing to try is to mark the map where the enemy tank was last seen. That gives you a line that you can then aim at the base of, and that gives you a good indication of where to aim, basically. So sometimes it's hard to aim a bush because the game might make compensation for where it thinks you're actually aiming, and because it does all the ballistic calculations for you. Alright, now that shot didn't go in. You could see the splash when it came up, and Nosana now just looking at that. You can see where the gun is aiming straight from the mini-map at that triangle in the corner, and he's just trying to get a better line on it. Definitely worth taking blind shots at this stage. 3 minutes to go. The Brask is on cap. They can definitely win this even with the Brask capping. Can they drive the Struve out? Well, the Struve's got nowhere to go. The T-30 is coming down the line here. He might spot the Struve. Even if it's the Struve firing, they'll get a shot on him. And Nosana comes down off the hill. Bit of a dangerous move there. It's quite possible to die. Come crashing off the hill there. And he has been spotted, so the Struve definitely still in the same spot, or at least close to it. And can they spot him out? And Nosana using the dead LT-432 as a bit of hull cover, but probably not important. They need their Struve outline. T-30 is still pushing in. Look how close he is. That's how good the camo is on the Struve. And there he is, facing straight towards Nosana. Bang, he gets the kill. And that is the end of the game. What a pretty tense finish there, but victory in the end. Well, here we go with the results. By the way, we're looking at it with Replays Manager in the game. What Replays site is getting bugs with uploading replay files. If you're trying to send me a replay file, it's probably easier to send it to me via Discord on the WOTCCASIA site. Alright, 4.6k of damage, nearly 4.7, 3 kills. He's blocked 1,040 and he's got another 1,554 of assisted damage there. So great result there, and that's earned him the high caliber award for the most damage and the Confederate award for damaging tanks that were then killed by his team. Nice credit earning it looks like, so we'll check that out in the details, but he's also picked up the Ace Tanker Mastery Badge. Alright, so that is the team score look. 1,500 base experience, very nice level there. Finished on top there, and also in damage, of course, with the high caliber award. The next best damage there being the Renegade doing 2.6, and if he'd stayed in the game a bit longer, possibly would have got a little bit more than that. On the enemy team, the Astron Rex got the highest EXP, but the BZ did the most damage there with 3k. And it's quite a spread of damage there, so not a complete walkover. And as we saw that, it was a fairly close result all the way through. Alright, so here's the main details. 20 shots fired, 14 hits and 12 penetrations, so there were a few blind shots there as we saw. Had personal reserves running and getting the additional 50k, which looks like the premium account first battle, first win reward there. That gave her a nice income. He's fired a range of different ammunition, but and used standard consumables as well. It's another way of saving money here. And he's spending 6k on consumables, and that's allowed him to earn 179,000 credits, which is always very nice. and that it was another great game there from No Sun and No Life. So thanks for sending the content. We're still working through content from this patch, but from 2022. So if you sent me a replay recently and you haven't seen it yet, that will be out over the course of the next week, I would think, at the rate we're going. And if you've been watching this video and you think you've got something from it, please give it a like. It certainly helps the video get a bit more exposure, which is what we need. And if you haven't subscribed to this and you're watching it, certainly I'd like you to consider becoming a subscriber. In any case, we'll have more great content to follow. Thanks very much for watching.